Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays City Skylines. We're on episode 2 here. Can't help but notice I opened the episode in the fire mode because we have a large building that is on fire. I'm not very pleased about that. Hopefully our fire department manages to get there in time, but as you can see from the fire coverage map, it's not great at actually, you know, making it over there. Like, these buildings are all in the red. All this residential stuff over here is in the blue, but that might not matter. I don't believe, by the way, that fire spreads from building to building, even though these two buildings are on fire. It sounds ridiculous, but I actually, for real, think that that is a coincidence. Is that building just straight up, like, burned down now? I guess we'll find out eventually. But we got a couple of things on our to-do list, you know, besides worrying about this. How is it possible that we're getting fire in all these areas when I have the policy for a smoke detector distribution, and I have a fire department, which is like right somewhere in here. Where is it again? Let's pop it up. It's right there. I was looking at it. I kind of thought that was like a drive-in. Operating normally. We might have to open the budget panel here and say, you know, for our fire department, we're going to run it at 150% capacity, and it'll cost us a little bit more money on a weekly basis, but if they have more fire trucks, then that's fine by me. We can also do that with power, by the way, like with our power plant, which is here. We can crank up the budget on that, and as a result, we probably won't have to build another power plant as quickly. But that's not going to buoy us for too long here. Anyway, there's still fires raging, but our town is still growing, so that's the important thing, I guess, if you want to get technical about it. We got a low demand for industry and a no demand for commercial. Sorry, low demand for commercial just came in, and a low demand for residential. So I think we're honestly just going to kind of sit back and watch the city for a little bit, and I'm going to let it tick by for a couple of days here as I set my timer. I normally don't run a timer on these episodes, and you might be cynically thinking, oh, Northernlion's going to run a timer, but it's not because I want the episodes to be particularly short. Rather, it's because I want the episodes to be a consistent length, and if I don't do this, then I will just let them. Some will go on for 20 minutes, some will go on for 45 minutes. Anyway, you don't need to worry about that. Scumtopia is going pretty well so far. We're gaining 80 people a week. We are losing money, but we're starting to lose less money. And the reason we're starting to lose less money is because, oh, these arrows, by the way, there we go. That demonstrates that a building is upgraded or upgrading. And as the building actually gets upgraded, it attracts wealthier customers, which makes the value of our city go higher. And that might send an uncomfortable message, but the goal of the game is basically to have a city that functions. Or, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, you can choose whatever you want it to be, but have a city that functions, and to have a city that functions, the more money you have, the better it's gonna be for you for that purpose. But, you know, there's other metrics to use for success. Are your citizens happy? Global happiness? Pretty good right now. I'm not going to complain. We can actually see the happiness by going to our infograph. These people are not very happy. That's probably because they live on the border between an industrial area and a residential area. That's my guess for why they are displeased. I don't know why these other people are displeased. No, it seems like it's just the people on the border here. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I really doubt that that land is ever going to be worth that much money, but that's okay. You know, I would love to live there. I mean, there's a little bit of air pollution, sure. That sucks. Don't get me wrong. I would rather we didn't have to deal with that. However, at the same time, look at how close you are to work if you work in, like, this factory right here. If you work at Ready to Wear Limited, this house is like the... Oh, sorry, that's a box factory. That's Garments Limited. Sorry, one second. Here you go. If you live at the Sunset Residence, they're not very happy about it. But if you, two teens live here. If you lived here and you worked at the box factory, that's a great summer job for a, you know, 15, 16-year-old. Speaking of which, we have a little bit more industrial demand right now. And we are, financially, we're doing okay. So I would like to expand our industrial area if possible. Maybe it's time for us to experiment with some curved roads. So I'm going to take out a road tool here, and we'll use the freeform tool. And we'll try to create a curved road. My hope was that we could actually connect it right here, but I'm not sure if we can do that and still... Oh, we can. It'll take one of the buildings away, and it looks hideous. But we can do this, and this will give us the ability to have a little bit of extra space. Now let's go back with our straight road tool, and we'll pop one right off the top here. Look, I don't think anybody is going to be surprised to find that my cities have their own unique flair in City Skylines. You know, I'm not Quill, I'm not a Roomba, I'm not Michael L. Fox, who actually is a great city planner, and I mean that non-sarcastically. Like, a dude is educated in it. So my cities are going to be unique, they're going to be a little chaotic. You know, you ever see that, like, I I don't know if you can actually build on that slope, but we'll see. You ever see that, like, I'm not sure if it's fake, but it's like the CIA tested different spiders and how they made their webs on various different drugs, and then they show like a spider making its web on LSD, and it's just batshit crazy. I am the spider making my web on LSD. You're not connected to anything, so we gotta fix that, and then maybe just drag like a pipe along like this and a pipe along like that. Probably more expensive than it needed to be, but this has all been zoned except for this area, which I'll probably use for residential, but if we need it for more industrial, we can. Maybe I'll use the top for residential and then like a commercial buffer and then industrial to try to avoid this, you know, unhappiness that we have here. I mean, we could always rezone this as commercial if we wanted to, but I don't know if we need to. Escape? No, not escape. Just take the info panel away. All right. I want to see people building on this area here, now that we've on pause. I want to see buildings pop up. Hey there! I don't know if you want to work in like the foundry that's positioned on the edge of a cliff, but that's pricey real estate depending on where in the world you are, man. That could be a premium lot. All right, so the Twitterverse is still bumping up here. It would be sweet if I could use that to get like feedback from people as they watch the video, and they'll be like, "Yo, dog, your city sucks." But if you tweet it with like hashtag Scumtopia, it popped up in my Twitter banner there. That would be hilarious. Anyway. For right now, it's going fine, and people are filling up this land, which I actually think is really cool, and we'll have a little curved area over here. We don't need to adjust our districts just yet. So you see this symbol down here. This means not enough educated workers. So what we'd be hoping to do is build a university, or at least a high school, which would allow us to have more educated workers, which would make it so these businesses won't leave. The way that it works, I'll pause it for a second here, is that this will pop up, and it'll be like, not enough educated workers. And you'll be like, all right, we don't have people educated enough to work at the organic food grocery store. That sucks. And then if we ignore it, then it'll turn red, and then eventually the business will just, because their needs aren't being met, they'll abandon the building, and we actually have to manually bulldoze it. What's our next milestone? It's like 2,800? 2,600, so we're going to reach that like this week. Toads with hypnotic abilities, the most popular pet of the... All glory to the Hypnotoad. All right, so, you know, dank memes abound, of course. Why are you missing power? Why are you missing power? Because we're about to have a brownout. Okay, when we hit 2,600, I should get a grant. And when I get that grant, I am going to buy another coal power plant. So we're up to 35,000. We just hit it there. I'm going to build another coal power plant. We could also take an alternate approach and start building, like these... We can build water wind turbines, which is actually a great idea because it would provide power to the whole city here. But they're very expensive. They provide green energy, but they're very expensive, and they don't provide that much power. We really need to be making things like coal power plants just to keep the business afloat. As much as I hate to admit it. I want to bulldoze some stuff here, but not like as little as possible. All right, so that should solve our power needs, but I had to bulldoze a business to make it happen. And as it comes up here, there we go. So our power is doing a little better now. We do have to spam power plants to some degree, and I don't love that, but we got the ability to build a high school now, and also, what else did we get for that last milestone? Let's go back and take a look. Oh, public transportation. All right, so we also got some new roads, but, oh, and cemetery. So cemetery is super important. We're going to actually take out a second loan right here. So that one's going to cost us $6,000 over the course of 5 years, which is not that bad for us. We're going to build a cemetery. You have to get cemeteries down. Because if you don't get cemeteries down, your dead bodies will just pile up, and that nothing makes people sadder than just having their dead, you know, family members around them. So you got to put that down, and that'll fill up as time goes on. By the way, how's our garbage doing? Landfill usage 13%. That's not terrible. We should probably throw down a high school, and we'll throw this up here in our newfound, like, residential area, right next to the cemetery, so the kids never get to really internalize their youth. They always know that it's fleeting. And we also picked up public transport, so let's put that down, because we just did take a $60,000 loan, so we might as well make use of it to try to make our money back. So I'm going to put down a our transit situation, like, I like to put it in the industrial area, so this is about as close as we can get here safely. There. Okay, so we'll put our transit area down. Or our bus depot. By putting that down, we can now go to our transit situation and basically just pretty easily create bus stops. So I'm going to create a bus loop that goes like all the way around the city here. So just click on the right side of the road. And we've got to make a full cycle here. So we'll have it go down around like Factory Town. And then out this way. And, you know, as we place these, the people in the vicinity will get a little happier. And, you know, Cities in Motion was all about this. And I was never very good at it, but it's a simplified version of public transit for this, for sure. So we can put down a bus line like that, basically. And that'll complete that line. And then if we wanted to, we can create another bus line, which I don't think is the worst idea. Why don't we create one that runs, like, this way instead? And it runs down, like, the residential corridor in the middle. Just to make sure people are still, like, you know, able to get to work and stuff like that. And admittedly, this is probably, like, the least efficient bus line of all time. But I'm not, you know, I'm not Mr. Transport Tycoon. So you gotta cut me some slack on that one, and we'll have that one completed there. So now we got 2 bus lines that run through the city, and citizens will start to use those as time goes on. And that'll lower traffic. That'll help out with our traffic, which is awesome. Please tell me that you're getting powered. I was gonna say, you should be getting powered. We can actually follow those buses as they go on their route as well. We're still losing money, but we will be able to collect money from bus fares. So hopefully that's not that bad. We've spent almost all of our money. That's actually hilarious, but also incredibly sad. We might need to raise taxes, and that's not going to make anybody happy. Oh, that'll be in our budget panel. Taxes. We've got some great services. I think we should raise taxes on our low-density residential zones. So we'll crank that up to, like... Can we see how that affects? I've never actually raised tax before. Right now, we're making 4,000 from tax here. So if I crank this up by, like, an extra few percent... Take it up to 12, and we'll see how that affects us. I might have to wait for one day to tick by. Come on, come on. We're making a little bit more. I'm going to raise taxes across the board. You know, 12% tax raise, pretty good for living in a city like this, you know. I'm a little nervous about the fact that financially our city seems to be imploding. But hopefully, actually, I'll just zone up some more areas here. We'll put a commercial block, like, here. And then we'll put, and even here. And then we'll put some residential blocks around it. There's a little demand for residential and a lot of demand for commercial. I'm going to take out my big brush. And we'll do this. And we'll just take some commercial space here. And then we'll fill out the rest with industrial. And hopefully that'll attract some more businesses. In fact, I'm going to de-zone just like a little bit of this right here. And fill it in with commercial. Just to hopefully not piss off the residents that live at like the boundary between industrial and residential. And how are our districts looking? Just fine. I still think that deserves to be called the industrial corridor. But actually, we could redistrict that if we wanted to. Like this. Oh, wait. What happened there? I hope I didn't do anything wrong. Like, redistrict this area right here. And we'll just do that. It looks a little ugly, but it's mostly so that you can put in the... oh, shit, I botched it. It's mostly so you can put in the proper names and the proper laws. So we'll just name this Sunset Park. I don't like that. This is going to be... Classroom to Coffin Heights. That way I know, like, where it is, at least. Oh, and we're actually making money again, and we're still having a decent amount of population come through on a regular basis. What does this mean? What is it? No water? You should have water. Oh, you know what? I never connected this. There we go. That's another 280 down the drain. And we'll let time tick by a little faster here. Not on speed 3, maybe, on speed 2. I love this pausable real-time stuff. So you got good demand for commercial, good demand for residential, and a decent industrial area. Nothing's burning down. Let's take a look at our infographs. Power's good. Water's pretty good. Garbage is starting to get full, but when we get to 7,000 people, we can build an incinerator. They want us to build another elementary school, which would probably help us with educated workers. Traffic. Traffic is really bad right here, but we don't have that much control over that. This bottleneck is causing it, I guess. It's not looking that bad, honestly. I'm not that pissed about our traffic, but we can see where it's going to be a problem for us in the future for sure. We can upgrade the roads in the middle, and that'll probably help out. But definitely that's something that I think if we don't handle it soon, it'll be more of a problem later. But I don't know how to handle it soon, so I'm guessing it'll be more of a problem later. We're going to put down a second elementary school, I guess. And we'll just put it down, well, why not, you know, near our cemetery, near our high school down here in Classroom to Coffin Heights. Just a great name for the area. Really inspiring. I hope we can build a road through there and not ruin our cemetery, because the cemetery is a very principal element of the whole thing, and I mean that sincerely. So again, we've got good demand for residential. Let's see what's coming up here for our milestone. I think it's 5,500 or 5,000. 5,500. We get city planning, oil industry specialization, we can pass a policy for free public transit, we can ban heavy traffic, new roads, police headquarters, oil power plant. With an oil power plant, we might be able to bulldoze our coal power plants and not have to face so much of an issue there. By the way, I'm just going to lower the main volume just a little bit there. Yeah, I'm a little bit more comfortable talking over that. Like, the oil power plant is pretty strong. Powers 120 megawatts versus the 40 of a coal power plant, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with there being demand. Plus 64 people a week is pretty good. Well, if they want us to build more residential areas, we'll build more residential areas. Eventually, we're going to turn some of these residential areas into from low density into high density, so that we can have like apartment buildings and stuff there. But we have to get to that level, you know, before we gain the ability to rezone it. Is the residential area like? It's not entirely spoken for, but it's pretty close. By the way, I should totally point out, you can build like elevated roads and stuff like that. I'm really bad at it, so I think you just like, you place it and then like page up. And yeah, you can make like a super bridge or something like that. But I'm not really that interested in that. I like to keep it on the ground for now, but that's probably, you know, why I'm having a little bit more trouble making a fully functioning city. Okay, residential area, that's no joke. People really want that. Let's keep two-lane traffic going here. It's going to be very expensive to build this, but I think it's important to have a road that's this big. And even if we surround it by roads that are smaller, it provides a little bit of relief, you know, a little traffic relief. And I know that the edges of my roads are kind of slanted here. I apologize for that. You can hear all those pips, like those audio pips. That means that there's buildings being upgraded, which is an encouraging sound, I think. I wonder if I can build a road through the middle here. Not really, so I don't know. We can like put a park or something here, and maybe that'll be worth it. Let's just make sure that we've got this decked out with water before we make this area complete. I really do like the water system. I find the power system a little cumbersome sometimes, but the water system in the game, I think, works fantastically. It's an abstraction of how real water would work, I guess, in a city planning context, but it's an abstraction that I appreciate as somebody who would have no interest in, you know, wiring up individual buildings like that. So I think because there's so much empty space here, we're going to throw down a park very quickly. And that usually has like a little bit more space at the back. Yeah, which is why I figured we'd toss it here. And as a result, that'll raise land value in the area. And, you know, people will be stoked to live here. The city's going okay. Now, the real problem is when we start running out of power and running out of water, and we don't have money and we can't take loans. That's where things become a sincere issue, but for right now, it's going just fine, and we'll make sure to extend Yale Town out just a little bit up here. It's looking pretty nice. You know, I know a lot of people have complained about, you know, a little bit of a generic look to city skylines, like not that many unique kinds of buildings. I'm sure a lot of that's going to be changed in modding, but I don't know. I've lived in a town with about 3,000 people, and a lot of the houses and buildings look pretty similar. Now, this one is right next to the fire station. If this place burns down, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh man, I'm watching the traffic for the fire engines. They have to like come out and then probably turn left here. Or did they put it out? Oh, it looks like they got to it just in time. I appreciate that. This is a huge backup for us here. Oh, buildings must have fire spread between them. This is ridiculous. I might need to put down another fire station over here. Or I could relocate the existing fire station. and put it... relocation cost is what, 2,400? That's not that bad. And if I just put this down, like, right here... hopefully... yeah, some people are happy about it, and some people are like, sweet, we don't have to worry about burning to death anymore. And some people are like, ah, shit. I don't like the way... oh, you know what? I think this is a little bit of a better placement for it. It seems like it, at least. I mean, if we have to put down more in the future, we can. I like that you can relocate the buildings for cheaper than just buying them yourself. All right, so we've started to have a few abandoned buildings pop up. You need to manually bulldoze those. And the same with the buildings that actually burn down. So we might actually start losing money soon just because there's so much, you know, fire damage that has basically happened here. But by bulldozing those, it creates space for new businesses to come in. And like a forest fire, it burns down the trees, but causes them to sprout seeds that will grow more trees in the future. Or something high-minded like that. Let's get rid of our bulldoze thing so I don't accidentally click on something. So we can also buy new land if we wanted to. That's just been told to us down here. We can buy a new plot, and they're relatively cheap, honestly. You know, we could buy that plot for 4,500. We can buy this plot for 3,600. I think we should do it. There's a lot of farming resources, a lot of forestry resources. What about this one? There's a lot of oil. Is there any oil in this one? There's no oil. Oh, maybe we want to buy around oil. Yeah. And then we can build an oil power plant. And we can go back into our city here. So that's how your city expands as time goes on. I mean, we could buy another plot right now. It's not like we have the choice between any of them. And I think you can buy, like, 9 plots, and that's as large as your city can get. So you can see, by the way, I like this visualization of, like, contaminated water from our sewage plant pushing out into the river here. Where's our oil? Like, if I don't think I have it unlocked yet. I think I need to get to the next level. I guess just because there's oil, that'll mean that we won't suffer from a fuel shortage. But anyway, how's it going here? Let's take a look at our policies. Recycling, slightly reduced tax income, slightly reduced garbage accumulation. This is good for us. Garbage can be terrible. Smoking ban, I'm not going to do. Parks and recreation, moderately increased land value around parks and plazas, increases decoration budget by 20%. I think we're making it a good amount of money. I think we can afford to do this. Everyone's going to like this. Recreational use. This is marijuana. Marijuana. Allowing recreational use of controlled substances attracts more tourists, but also requires more police presence. So we have to pay 15% more for police, but we get reduced crime rate, moderately increased tourism, and slightly increased tax income. So I'm not trying to make a political decision here, but I will legalize marijuana in my town because it seems like people, you know, we'll have a little bit more police budget, which sounds like, you know, increased budget sounds good, but it means you're spending more money. But the crime rate is reduced, so I don't care if I'm spending money on police as long as, you know, people aren't getting killed. Landfill, 29% full. Okay. Population's growing at a good clip. We have a little bit more demand for commercial space. So you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to pop out and buy a little bit more land on this side. We'll purchase that up. And I hope I'm not spending a little too quickly here, but let me quickly look at zoning for a second. I want to expand our commercial area. So I'm going to build a road. And you know what? I'm going to try to make it a big road, just because traffic is more important, or maybe most important. 6-lane road. 6-lane road. Drag this out like this. It's going to be very expensive, obviously. And then we'll start running some, like, 2-lane roads this way. We'll have to bulldoze, like, that shopping mall, which I'm not happy about, but... take this down like this. And can we build, like, another lane... Ooh, like almost, but not quite. That is unfortunate, but that's okay. We can build out like a little bit this way. I have like a little weird shopping plaza down here. And we can actually do like that, and that'll raise the amount of buildings that we can put in this area. And then we'll connect it. And we'll do that. And of course this is going to bulldoze some buildings in the process. And, you know, the existing store owners are going to be displeased by that. There we go. That's a nice little... extra little bit of commercial area there. Let's take out our big brush and brush that all in commercial. You know, if we have commercial demand, we should take advantage of it as far as I'm concerned. Although there actually is a little residential demand, so let's paint a lot of it commercial, because I think commercial is the thing that you end up needing the least of. I might be missing some spots here, and if so, I apologize. But then we'll paint the rest in residential green. Perfect name for that color. Want to keep residential close to commercial and close to industrial whenever possible. I think this is actually a pretty well-zoned area, but I might be terribly mistaken about that. We would need to make sure that it has water. It will automatically get power, assuming it's built in like a continuous fashion. Not enough money. Yeah, that's really bad that we can't get water to that area because we're a little short on cash, but we'll start picking up more money, and at our next milestone, we'll get a grant as well. So, that's going to start getting built in, and we do have enough money now probably to sneak in. You might be saying this looks... Northernlion, this looks a little too easy. You are mistaken, my friend, and you will soon find out, as time goes on, how difficult this can become. Like, look at this situation right here, like our water's starting to run into trouble, and our power could pretty soon run into trouble. Although we're making so much money, I can actually crank up the power budget a little bit. So pretty soon we're gonna need to throw down like another water, like another drain and another pump as soon as possible. Please don't let this fire spread to my entire industrial region again. But can we actually? Have we paid back our first loan? We have not. When does it end? Time left, 1 week. Okay, so in 1 week we can take out another loan. I don't think we can take out this one yet. We need to reach 20,000 people first. But yeah, we could probably take out another one here. And get another $20,000 in cash as quickly as possible. And we do need another industrial zone as well. We could probably afford to build like a road out this way and build like a second industrial park over here. Let's take a look at like our pollution graph. I've never used the pollution graph. Is that it? Pollution. It's pretty bad right here. But the rest of the place is pretty okay. I mean, that's to be expected. Nobody wants pollution, but you know, everybody wants plastic. Sorry, I gotta close the info panel. Gotta get used to that. Alright, so we probably should make another industrial area. First things first, we need more water. I'm gonna construct some water here, and that's not going to break anything, and it should be powered up. We need to connect it via the pipes, but that's okay. Very important, you know, people desire clean water and to not have to bathe in their own fecal waste, so we can just get that done. Life will be good. There we go. Our water should go right up. Okay, so that's fine. And it wasn't even that expensive. That was like a week's worth of income. Right now we're making $3,000 a week, which is pretty ridiculous. This is actually probably the best city that I've done off camera or on, well, this is the only one I've done on camera, but it's probably the most efficient and effectively working city I've done thus far, which is really encouraging. Hopefully we can keep it alive a little bit longer. Okay, they demand industrial space. We can make like another industrial park area over here. Let's make, it's still using like shitty roads here. We'll build it like this. And I like experimenting with the curved roads, even if they're not always like the smartest way to do things. Like, it just looks cool. You can't deny that curved roads are the coolest of all the roads. So that only bulldozed 1 or 2 buildings. That's not that bad. And then we can have some, oh, I didn't mean to do this. We can have some sweet-ass, like, blocks come out this way, and we can just use the straight road tool for this as far as I'm concerned. And we'll build it like that. And like that. You know, never let anybody tell you I don't have a flair for the unusual here with this design. And then we can have this come through like this, maybe a little higher, like this. And like that. Oh, that's majestic. And by majestic, I of course mean hideous. But hey, maybe that we can put some trees here. I don't know if that actually stops pollution, but if it does, we should do it. How's our power doing, by the way? Ooh, it's getting a little low. We can increase our power budget, though. All right, so let's zone this industrial. There is a high demand for industrial. We're gonna keep, for now, industrial to the outer edge. And the reason for that, well, maybe like the first interior edge here. And the reason for that, oh, I de-painted some of it, is just to kind of give us flexibility in the future. So I'm going to try to de-zone some of this. Not too much, but definitely like up here, I want to make sure that could still be commercial. And maybe like there. And we'll keep the rest of that as industrial. I'm going to take out the smaller tool for now. Just paint over this and this. There we go. I think that's a decent amount of industrial space. That should drive demand down there a little bit. And we should go back to our district graph and paint out our industrial corridor a little bit. Lovely. And when we hit our next milestone, which is 5,500, I think that gives us the opportunity to build an oil power plant, which I am going to be desiring to do, I think. Oh, that's the timer. Time is up, it says. Well, I'm sorry to say that time is up, but I think this has gone pretty well for us. We're making money. Actually, a great deal of money. Our population is growing quickly. Did we bring water? No, okay. Before we end the episode, let's at least make sure that we're bringing some water to these fine people that exist in our industrial corridor now. We're just going to basically, like, draw the most roundabout way that we can and then link it back up on itself. All right, well, thanks for watching. On our next episode, we're probably going to hit that next milestone fairly quickly. If you enjoyed the episode, it's the infancy of a new series. It helps out a great deal if you click the like button. It helps out enormously. And, of course, if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe to see more in the future. Again, 1 or more coming daily for the near future. We'll see how many I can get done before PAX East, because that's the big time crunch right now. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time with the ongoing adventures of Scumtopia. See you then.